Now I have what Galvatron wanted, that transforming cog.
Put it back. Now!
What are you trying to do, First Aid? Talk me into surrendering?
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-B52C Munitioner. This is their take on a very G1-esque Swindle. This is actually a toy-esque Swindle, not the Toon. So we've gotten the Toon version, then they came out with, I guess, IDW or something along those lines. Now this is the toy version, and it looks pretty good. And I'm going to be doing this whole set. There's going to be 3 more to go after this. But I did get this to Shozy Store. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. And also, there's a pre-order of a Shozy I'm going to talk to you about later in this video when we get to the comparison section. It's a very important pre-order for those of you that collect Legends. But let's get into talking about this and more coming up. Here's the box, and it's very Magic Square Magic Square E, no plastic in it. And I'm starting to wonder, when we get reissues, which this is a reissue, did this one originally come with plastic in the front? I guess I gotta look that up. But I think that everything's now coming plastic free. It's kind of fun to see your figure in there, but in all reality, we're opening these third parties, and so it's not going to do us much good in the box. But anyway, box looks good, very G1-y. Right here, Swindle out of the box and looking pretty good. And so looking back at a couple of these other iterations of options here, is this the best one? I think that there's good things about each and every one of the options that they put out in the past, but I kind of feel like this one culminates and gives you some of each of those. Like the clear windshield is a nice touch, and there's that piece, and then there's the coloration of it looks pretty good, and the face. I mean, I hear people complain that the face was just all like charcoal and jet black. Now this is a little bit on the silver side, but it's a dark silver face, so it's better than it all just being the same color as the head, and you get some paint on the eyes. So that's an improvement from past iterations. And but other than that, I think everything else is about the same. We do get the foot as the same color. We also get these other 2 accessories, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But of course, comes with this gun and all that. But overall, good looking figure. I like the way he looks. When we get to comparisons, I'm actually going to compare him to the MMC one, which I really like the MMC one. But do I like this one better? And you're going to have to wait for the comparisons to find that one out. It has 2 accessories that just clip in the wheel. If I can get it on camera just right, you can see the tab, and it's tabs into that slot right there. And I do have to apologize. I do have paint on my hands from restoration of a G1 Black Star figure. I'd show it, but it's covered in paint. I give it a 24 hours to dry before I mess with it, because I don't want fingerprints and stuff on it. But anyway, now it's not going back in there. Anyway, that's how that goes on there. If you want it all in one and every accessory on him, I don't really care. I'm actually going to use this purely for combined mode, so that's that. He does come with a small gun right here, which we're going to see is actually similar to the one that we've got with the MMC version, except the MMC one's painted. These are not painted. And then you got this long gun. Now this gun here clips on the side or the front. I think the front is more accurate. Let's see here. There's a little bitty tab that slots into this on the front, but you have to do a different tab to tab it in on the side. Weird stuff, but yeah, the side does look better. So you pick one of these 2 side tabs to go into the side, and then he can do whatever he wants with it. Nice looking figure though, overall. Accessories are okay, and again, he's got his foot accessory, which I think all combiners should come with their accessory parts with the figure. And then, you know, if it's like one giant exoskeleton, I guess there's not really much you can do about that. But with this, it's definitely the right way to do it. All right, so for articulation, head side to side, goes up and can go way up, and down a bit. Arm way past the 90 on the shoulder, 360. Give me that swivel. Is there a bicep swivel? Well, not really a bicep swivel, just got to have the joint on. He does have the bicep swivel. You have to make sure his arm's pulled out all the way, which I guess I didn't have his arm out all the way. Yeah, he does have a bicep swivel. Ah, Magic Square. And not much going on with the hand right there. You got the ab crunch, the The Magic Square always has this. Every Magic Square figure, and I think it's a big part of the transformation too. Then we have kick way forward, and then only no back. And then if you get the flap up high enough, you can go all the way to the side. It's all friction. Now you do have the thigh swivel in there, and you do have the double jointed knee, and you do have the movement on the foot, which, there you go. Everything you're going to need. Magic Square always has great articulation. All right, so I've heard the argument, it is not fair to compare Magic Square to Masterpiece. I don't see why not, because, I mean, you look at these, this is kind of a forced perspective kind of thing, and I like to do this when you compare Masterpiece to Legends. I like this figure. I think it's a good figure. But G1-esque and hitting the tunes and just the feel, and Magic Square hits it. I mean, just look at that. And it's tiny. And now you're going to pay the price in transformation. You are definitely going to pay the price in this transformation. It's not horrible. It's just a lot of panels and a lot of time consuming. But I think this one is easier to transform overall. I can't remember. It's been a couple years, but that's how they look. So Magic Square is reissuing this guy, but with silver. I think the same color blue, but with the silver thighs and forearms and stuff. So not exactly the same as this one, but really close. I do have it pre-ordered. Showzi's got it up for pre-order. So remember, go over there, TH reviewer code and all that kind of stuff. Get that pre-order in. This sucker always, every time they do one, the last one was like a dark blue, and then the one that's coming up looks like a light blue. I'm curious to compare all three when it comes in. But I do have mine pre-ordered to check it out, but they sell fast. So it's kind of a PSA for you guys. All right, let's bring in the cast of usual suspects. This is the Prime 2.0. All this is Magic Square, by the way, except this guy, I think that's a McFan's Toys upscale. I do believe that's so it's not that big of an upscale. Anyway, that's how it looks. Looks great. And I think the Hound is a nice comparison because Hound is a Jeep. Also, it's cheaper to keeper. Oh, anyway, there you go. All right, so this transformation is going to be a bit of a bear, but let's rotate these arms, and then we're going to open this up, fold the hand, and then fold all that in. It kind of looks like that. Same thing over here. It's a 100-step process going on or something like that. But there we go, getting that going. Let's get this head sort of backed up out of the way here, and we're going to bend him over. Get all this stuff going on here. Pull him out. Now, let's get this slider all the way out, because there's a ton of stuff to do with him. We're going to fold these pieces here in. So that worked. I'm going to fold this out. Open up the hood. Here's so hood. And then we are going to take this, fold that in, fold this all the way around, and then we're going to kind of bring this out and sort of form that there. Do the same thing on the other side. Form this sort of front bit without extend, so don't extend that swivel there. This top part here folds around and makes the, to start seeing a Jeep look to it. It starts coming along. We do need to bend, swivel the legs, and that's like kind of like a big key point. So this has to rotate around and then come down, and then the head goes in that like that. There we go. Now things are starting to make a little bit more sense. Now we're going to bring this up into here, and I'm not sure if it would make more sense to tab the front grill in first. So we have to just kind of like shove it in there, shove it in with some finesse, lift that up or whatever. Also down here, we are going to fold this up, fold that tab up, fold this up, and we've got that part here. Now we got to get this tabbed in to place, and we have, this is a weird function. We have to rotate this tire to match up with this. Right here there's a tab, and then the tire has a slot. That's weird. It's weird. And you got to make sure it's rotated just right to hit that slot. And then you got to hit this tab, series of tabs, and then just make sure the angle's right on that. Okay, and this is one of those hard tabs. It's not a soft tab, it's a hard tab. Tab that thing in there hard. Okay, do the same thing on this side. I guess kind of just assume that's the right spot for the wheel. Fold all this up. And start with the hard tabs. Let's make sure this wheel tab, yeah, that one worked. And then this, the little purple tab going into this side fender needs a lot of pressure. Then adjust that out. So we're getting pretty close. Now, okay, so here's this steering wheel comes out. Here's the problem with steering wheel. Like when you go to combine mode, you're gonna need to you're gonna need that steering wheel again. You're gonna need to go back in here and tuck that steering wheel back where we found it when we go back to when we go into the combine mode, the leg mode. All right, I do not like how these legs are done. So I'm gonna try to do one leg at a time. It's quite insane. All right. So what we need to do is we need to start untabbing this. We've got it held together right here with a tab. And it's all going to start expanding. There's a mushroom tab right there. It doesn't pull, you need to pull it out like a mushroom tab. And then start just unfurling this stuff. This one rotates out. Make that wheel be a wheel. And this here, so folding tab, this is going to go under. At the end of this, all we need to rotate that goes in and goes in on that. Did I get that? I mean, it's hard to see. It's hard to see all this stuff that's going on here. It is a bit crazy. We're going to open this up. And then we are going to fold this around. Okay, this, let's get this in place. This is on a slider, and you're going to tab it into place. It makes that snapping sound. That's not good. Got the wheel made whole. All right, so we're going to fold this around here. This is kind of a sand. This is coming around. We're starting to make this into a Jeep. Fold this piece here around. Now that's going to tab into that. There is another piece inside here that needs to come out. Let's try to get to it right now. Come on, fold out. Yeah, there we go. There we go for that one. All right, so this is with the wheel coming around. Hopefully the second side I was a little bit more dainty than this, I guess you could say. This is going to go into here. Okay, going to plug the inside in. I noticed I had the foot kind of positioned wrong. So this is how you want the foot to look positioned. It's a series of folding to get it to look like that so it fits in there properly. And then it'll fit in there sort of properly. Kind of crazy, but anyway, that will tab in. So let's try to do the other side. See if this tabs in there a little bit more, I don't know, daintily. Probably not. It's going to be cumbersome no matter what. It's a crazy leg transformation that they've got going on here that I'm not super happy with, but it is what it is. All right, so we're going to kind of keep everything in perspective here. Rotate this around, open this up, snap it in place with this using the slider, and then we got this bottom piece that's still in its place. The foot, which, okay, let's see, how did we do this foot again? All right, yeah, we want to get it like this, and then we need to, everything gets in the way like this, and I believe that's right. Let me double check. All right, you know it's right because there's a tab there and a slot for the foot to actually tab into, so that's That's the way that's done. So that kind of screwed me up on that first leg there. Anyway, we are going to do this whole fun fold this over situation, and then bring this around situation, and then I didn't the seat tucked back in. All right, there we go. Gotta have the seat out, like laces out, seat out. All right, so we've got this all working, and then it starts to get a little tighter on the second side. While we're here, let's open this little flap out, tucking this inner piece in, folding that. All right, going at it from this different angle, we do still have to get this tab, all this tabbed in here in the front, push in on the bottom, and then come back around here to the back, push in on these, and get this back piece tabbed in all the way, and everything lined up. Just lots of little tabs all the way around it. Make sure that they're tabbed in properly so it all holds it and supports it. And then as you're tabbing one in, this is one thing I kind of don't like about Magic Square Transformation is sometimes as you're tabbing one in, you untab something else. But for the most part, I think we're there. I'm going to go around and make sure everything's tightened up and tabbed in just right. Like this kind of got out of position during the transformation, but I think we're pretty close, and it looks good. It looks good. All right, so going around and tabbing in, just making sure there's tabs here, the double, triple tab on the side, all that stuff is tabbed in, and then it actually, once it's all tabbed in, holds together really well. And looks really good. And you need it all tabbed in, looking really good, so that you can have it in its combined mode. All right, let's get some stuff going on here with all of this. We just got it together and we didn't, oh man. See if we can get this in here without wrecking everything. But we can put this on here like so. Okay, we didn't wreck everything. Then we're going to be tabbing everything in like this, and then like this into that hole. Come on. Well, there's a tab here, a hole here. Do that off screen. And I'm pretty sure this tire goes on here too. Somehow. There it goes. Just give it a good little shove. Okay, so there it is with the accessories on it after the transformation. And it looks good. And I guess you have to take my word for it. It's about the same size as the G1. Around the same size as the G1 version. But all my G1s are on combine mode. I'm not digging into that combiner thing. This thing rolls really well. You know, with that whole tab of the wheel, I don't get it. But the way they did it, it's like the wheel is around kind of another piece. So you're not tabbing the actual wheel in. You're attaching more or less a inner housing. I don't know. But wow, it rolls really well. That's impressive. I didn't expect that. But I also find out how uneven your surface is as it rolls around. Still pretty cool looking overall. That clear windshield is interesting. It looks a little frosted, and got the purple on the windshield, which it's got a line in it, but I mean just the way it is, it's not very noticeable because of that. You got the headlights, you got the winch, you got the steering wheel, which it is adjustable. So I would think that that's the better angle. Too small for any figures to go in. Too small for anything, but it is not too small for comparisons. All right, in all honesty, he's a bit big for a Jeep. I mean, here we go. We got Jeep next to Jeep, but mini-bots, you know, size and scale. He is too big. I don't care. The G1 one was too big in comparison to all these mini-bots anyway. Also, but still kind of fun. It looks really good. I mean, Jeeps are hard. To have the bots the same size as each other, and then a Jeep just turn into the regular size Jeep, it's hard, and so I don't really care. Doesn't bother me at all. And now for articulation, this thing goes side to side, and the missiles and stuff go up and down. It does have articulation. Now for combined mode, I think I'm going to feel like a bumbling idiot trying to do this. Let's pop this wheel off. Let's get this out of here. We're going to get into, what we have to do is hide this steering wheel, which is a lot of work. And we're basically just going to fold these. I mean, you don't really have to, but I guess we're gonna. It's a lot of work just to hide that steering wheel. It's a bit on the crazy side. Untab that. Bring this up. Fold that down. There we go. Crazy, if you ask me. To hide that away. Then try to tab all this back in again. That's fun. And then I've got some other things popped untabbed. While you're doing, see, that's the downside to this. Now we can fold all this down. And then let's bring all this back up. Tab it all back in. Now this here, to get it ready for the leg mode, you're going to basically, well, I guess we have to have that all done. We're going to pop this out. And then you're going to put the leg into the groove here and then reconnect all that. So I guess I can just leave that in preparation because I'm really just going to have this for combined mode. This is my combined mode piece. And then the slots you want this foot in, you want deeper in the slots. You're not wanting it just grabbing that tail piece. You want it in there. Deep in there. Get it in there deep. There it is. So you can engage that part there. And then, of course, go around, tab everything back in again and line it all up. And once it's all done, I mean, it's going to hold together really well. But there we go. One last thing that's kind of optional. But, I mean, if you're not going to store the rest of the weapons, I guess it doesn't really matter. But you can store the wheel in here. And there it is. There is leg mode. I mean, if you're not going to be storing these on it, then I would figure you'd store that spare. And I think I probably will. I'm not sure. But then you can get this to tuck in a little bit more. This will all tuck in a little bit more and be a little cleaner if you don't have that wheel in there. All right, so I'm going to end this video with a comparison. And I look forward to getting this thing in the actual combined mode. That's my goal for it. And compared to, this is Iron Factory, and I like this way better. This is what I want out of a figure. Do I have all these on the right side? Yeah, I got these on the right side because of the ankle tiltage. But I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty complex transformation. There's a lot going on to it. But I'm still excited, and I think it's much more fun to get it one figure at a time, bite-sized chunks. The combining of it will be another whole bit, but I look forward to getting it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Also, are you picking yourself up a Soundwave reissue for, I think they're like $50. They don't have a price, $1 down. But anyway, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this figure? Like and subscribe. Teddy Bear Painter out.
That isn't a bad idea, Swindle.
Neither is this. I heard you were a pacifist, but I don't believe there's a transformer who won't fight for his life. The cog's mine now. Metroplex is now stuck in city mode forever. It's about time you showed up, Swindle. Where's the transforming cog? Galvatron, we got to talk. One last time, Swindle. Give me the cog. What are you willing to pay for it, Galvatron? What's in it for me? I'll let you live to regret this treachery.